I'm Minesh Baxi here, and most of you have heard of this organization, except I promise you, you don't know some of the things you should know about it. So we'll cover some of the myths and obviously how you can help this organization go and reach out to more people, because there are a lot of people who need it as well. So please welcome Branden Recker of Habitat for Humanity, correct?
That's correct.
And you are in the Oakland neighborhood. That's where you support the community, correct?
That's correct, and it's a good distinction because we are Habitat for Humanity Oakland County. It's important for people to know that because each affiliate is self-run and each affiliate does their own fundraising and their own volunteers and own work. So it's important to know that.
Very good point. So Branden, tell us a little bit about you. How did you get started with even working with Habitat for Humanity?
Well, I've been in the nonprofit world for about 10 years, and my previous manager had gone to Habitat. And actually, funny enough, I had worked on a Habitat project prior to this and got an opportunity to join the team. And it's been 2 years now. And it's been great. And never looking back. Never
looking back. Now, even otherwise, you're a young man with a family, right?
Sure.
You got a couple of kids?
2 little ones.
How old are your kids?
I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, Kalia, and a 4.5-year-old son, Dominic.
Interesting. I'm sure that keeps your dad and the mom obviously busy.
Absolutely.
So good. So fantastic. So a lot of people have heard about it. And I think some of the common myths are what we want to cover today. And we also want to share with people how they can benefit from as well as be part of helping Habitat for Humanity.
Sure.
So what are some of the common myths you hear about that, Branden?
Yeah. The first piece, as you mentioned, everyone's heard of Habitat, or most everyone has, but they don't really know what we do. Most people say, we build houses for homeless people, right? And you give away houses, or, Jimmy Carter started it, right? And it's like, no, not really. So what I always do is take a step back and say, hey, first and foremost, we build and remodel houses for low-income families. And of course, we're Oakland County, so that's where we're focused in our areas, Oakland County. No, Jimmy Carter did not start it. And no, we don't give our houses away. All of our homeowners go through our program, Habitat University. We work with them with anything they need help with, if it's credit or money management or whatever that may be, so they can get mortgage ready. And every person who goes through our program and gets a home, they purchase their home, they pay a mortgage, they're a homeowner. Our goal is to give them basically a hand up, not a handout. So that's really important that people understand that the people that go through our program and get our homes, they're homeowners, and that's their stake property.
Well, I think one of the simplest things in life that people, you and I know, if you earn it, you deserve it, and you keep it.
That's correct.
I mean, I have always, my friend gave me a good example. His name is Bob Berg, and he's the author of the book called The Go-Giver. He says, Minesh, when you don't own it, you don't have the same commitment to it. He says, when was the last time you rented a car at an airport and then took it for oil change and car wash? I don't think anybody has done that, correct? Because when you don't own it, you don't take care of it.
And right, you don't drive it the same. And that's also important to know about Habitat, is that all of our homeowners do at least $300 of sweat equity before they even get in their home. And so they have lots of stake in their property, and they bring the community out. It can be family and friends. They always, again, have stake in the game to be part of our program.
Yeah, I think that's very, very critical. Now, one of the things you do is to bring together people like a team as an exercise, as a fun thing to do, as well as obviously bond together and help the community. Yep. And that's one of the things you do. So tell us a little bit about how people can take advantage of that.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're known most for is basically building, right? And people having these big team building exercises or events. And so people, typically corporations, but also church groups and family groups, they come out on a build site. They get to swing a hammer, they get to use a nail gun or a chop saw or whatever they're doing that day, and they get a chance to actually build on a house. They actually get some sweat equity themselves in their community, and they love it for 2 reasons. Number one, they're giving back, but number 2, they can see the effort they put in that day. It's pretty much like instant gratification, right?
Yes.
And so how people get involved, 2 ways. Number one, if they're a bigger group, more than 5 or 6, you want to reach out to us directly. I work with the bigger groups. There's a couple of us that do that, so we can schedule them together. If it's a one person or 1 or 2 people, they can go right to our website. They can log on there. They can either volunteer at our job sites or even at our resource to get a chance to come out. One other thing that people don't know that we do as well is neighborhood revitalization. In Oakland County, we call it Rock the Block.
Rock the Block. That sounds fun.
Rock the Block. It's really cool. It's a 2-day event. We have 3 of those in 2020. Each are 2 days events. We have about 50 volunteers each day, plus our core volunteers and staff. So each day we'll have about 85 people working on exterior repairs in the community. And it's a really cool way for people to get involved as well. And again, those larger corporations especially love that because they can bring a whole team of people out. They all can get involved, get a little dirty. We don't charge for the dirt and sweat. That's free of charge. And they can really have an eventful day. And then people, they talk about it forever. They say, hey, we got the chance to work at Habitat, and here's what we did. We had to meet the homeowner, and it's just a really cool way to empower, the employees of that organization.
Well, I hear passion in your voice. I love that because whenever somebody comes on the show, and obviously whenever I meet somebody, I know passion sells. Not only for the other person, but also for you. It makes you more joyous, energetic, enthusiastic about what you do. And that's what passion is. And one of the things I've heard about passion is pass it on, right?
That's right. So
when you're passionate, you pass it on to somebody else as well. So what makes you so passionate about it? Has there anything in your life which has happened? I'm just curious.
It's a lot of things. Whenever you've ever got a chance to be on a job site, that's really rewarding. But the thing for me that really flipped the switch was going to my first dedication. Seeing that homeowner and their families and their, the network and our staff and the people and volunteers that have worked on that property come out and see them get the keys for the first time. Learn a little bit more about them. That is so powerful. If you go to one of those, you'll never go back. And we actually have one coming up. If people get a chance to and want to stop out, we have a dedication in Southfield on Kiefer. It's on the March 5th. And this is going to be a really big event because in addition to just a normal dedication, this is also a women-built home. We have a coalition of women, started a handful of years ago. There's a lot of women now on the part of this team, and they're women's teams, right? There's men too that help out, but they really fundraise. They really do about 85% of the building on this home. It's going to be an event. And this summer, even the Detroit Tigers came out and did some work on this property.
Oh, good.
So it's going to be a really cool event. So people get a chance to come out. Once you get to see one dedication, you'll have the passion like I have as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And these are the events that you can actually go there, learn more about it, and you can get a feel for what Habitat for Humanity really does, because it's right in front of you. What you're seeing has been built, as well as the family which is enjoying it as well. So tell me a little bit about what people can do. Give us maybe people to contact, maybe some projects they can start working on. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we kind of have 3 ongoing events that we typically do. Every given day, like today, for example, there's 2 building projects we work on. So there's always building projects to be involved with. I mentioned Rock the Block. We have 6 individual days this year. And then in addition to that, we also have people that volunteer at the Restore. So if anyone's not familiar with our Restore, the way I describe it to people, it's like Home Depot ran into Salvation Army.
Oh, I see.
So it's a way for people to give back things that are like hardware supplies. So you're looking at plumbing supplies, windows and doors, lighting, paint supplies. Obviously, the paint supplies are not used. Furniture and appliances. And we pick those things up for free. Those things come to our Restore. We sell those things to the community, which of course helps the community.
Correct.
And that also, of course, because the items are donated, those things fund our mission as well. So when people want to get involved, yes, you can swing a hammer, and yes, you can donate money, but sometimes people that may not have that, if you're trying to get rid of your couch or your old refrigerator or an old doors and windows or cabinets, those are things that we can pick up or you can drop off either at our Farmington Hills store or Waterford location, and those things will also benefit, again, those low, moderate income families, see the home ownership and see the American dream.
Well, I think that's a great point. My friend Jonna Struck, you obviously know her well.
She's the leader of Love Women Build, yeah.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
so she's the one who did that, and I know she has been cheerleading that for almost 15, 16 years that I'm aware of.
Yes.
And she took great pride in it. She organized a lot of donations and everything else to help the community in that area as well. So are there
Jonna
any...
Struck is amazing. Yeah.
Yes, she is literally amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about anything else right now. They can go to a website, call people. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, to get to volunteer, like I mentioned, that you can reach out to us directly or go to the website. But in addition to that, we also have fundraisers and things throughout the year.
Okay.
The next one coming up is March 25th. We have a Comics for Habitat.
Comics for Habitat.
Super cool. We have 6 local comedians, really, really good lineup. Tickets are $35. People can come out, have a light dinner, see some comedians. We have some raffles and things going on as well. Good way to support it and get in touch. Later on this year, in November, we'll have a gala. We have an annual gala every year. It's actually right here in Troy at the Marriott. There'll be about 380 to 400 people there. And again, great dinner, good beverages. Again, auction. We really pull at the stops. And we'll also have other events that come up. So a good place for people always to go is habitatoakland.org. And then we'll have all of our events there. Reach out, get involved, get your neighbor involved, spread the word.
So let me ask you a question like this. How
Yeah.
does this help the community? I understand in general.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some people are watching us like, okay, I hear being involved like this or that, but I'm really not sure how much impact is it really making in the community. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Question you get all the time. Why this? Why not something else?
Yes.
A couple things. First piece is inadequate housing is a major problem.
Inadequate housing.
Mm-hmm. It's not only subpar in terms of standard, but also typically unaffordable for most families, and that includes the middle class. I know we don't service those folks, but that's true. It's important for us to be able to give people a chance to have a decent home for them and their families. That impacts their health, that impacts their education, that impacts their wealth, right? Because the biggest thing for wealth building is
owning a home.
Owning a home. And then in addition to that, we are remodeling this house and building houses. So we're building a community. We're taking these empty lots or abandoned houses. We're fixing them up. We're increasing, adding another person to the tax roll. We're increasing the value of those neighborhoods. All those things impact the community. And let's be honest, if you're looking to move in a neighborhood and you see there's 3 or 4 abandoned houses, you're probably going to go somewhere different.
Yes.
You show up at that same neighborhood 2 or 3 years later, if we've been there and see those houses, you're going to definitely take a second look.
Exactly, and I totally agree with you. So just for my understanding, who are the people who would go out to Habitat and say, hey, I want to be a homeowner? How do you, is there a qualifying process you were mentioning about?
Yep, great question. People who are interested in seeing about our program, go right to our website and apply right on our website online. What happens at that point is if you are a low income or moderate income family, we will not only take you through our normal process, but then at the completion of that, you'll get in line for a home for us and look at that process. Let's say that you and I go on the website, say, hey, we want to look at it, and says, no, sorry, you make a little too much money, right? You're a middle class. At that point, we'll still help you with fixing your credit and getting your budget together and all those good things through Habitat University. That's all free.
Very interesting.
Every single person gets that free. We want to do that. That's again part of helping the community. When you're done with that process, then we help you get on your own to go to a lender to be able to get a mortgage on your own and be a homeowner. And that happens all the time. Or even people that come to our program at first and maybe take a year or so to get things together, and then they have a good situation change, a job change or something changes for them. That will help them. Then, of course, they go on their own and get a home. No problem. Those folks that are that low income group, we then work with local lenders to get really aggressive mortgages to help them out there as well. Again, the goal is to keep their costs very, very low. And you're seeing people going from a situation like Southwood's a perfect example. Your rent might be $1,600, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 a month. You go into a mortgage, it's $850 a month.
Wow.
You save someone $700 or more a month, that literally changes their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, you save $500 a month for 30 years, you'll almost have $1 million. Yep. So that's really the key part about it.
And people are getting to a situation as well where they're going from, I'm not paying my car insurance, or I'm not taking the medication I should, or I'm not eating the best, or I'm not insert whatever thing that they're going without.
Yes.
And now they can not only do those things or have those things that they should have, but also now they're saving for college for their kids. Now they're saving for repairs in their home. Now they're all the things that go on a vacation.
Yes.
The simple things, to maybe me and you, but again, these are really changing these people's lives, again, and their families' lives.
Wow. Fantastic. You did a great job, Branden, of sharing about Habitat for Humanity, how they can be involved in the Oakland County chapter for that. Is there any last word you want to mention to people before we wrap up here today?
This is the biggest thing I always tell people is if you don't know, ask, reach out. There's a lot of great nonprofits in Oakland County. I think we're the best, right?
Absolutely.
But just get involved.
Just get involved.
Get involved in your community. Understand the nonprofit you're working with and what they need. They're all different. And do what you can to support them because, again, that trickle effect is huge.
It is.
And, again, you may not know it, but The person next to you could be Habitat homeowner. I see them, meet them all the time. Like, oh, my neighbor was, or my aunt was, or the person at church was. And again, you wouldn't know any different. But they are, again, a great piece of our community, and we want to continue to help them as we continue to grow our community.
Thank you so much, Branden, for coming. I hope you learned a little bit about Habitat for Humanity. So if you're somebody watching this show and you are an entrepreneur or you have a nonprofit and you want to share your story, I would love to interview you here because I want to spread the word. This is Local Business Spotlight. So I'm introducing more and more people to the community so you can learn more about the people who are in the community doing things, great things that you want to know more about as well. So I'm really excited. Thanks, Branden, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.